hiding and secreting government records by New York State associated with the criminally negligent homicide of, I don't know, 13,000 or so grandmas and grandpas at the nursing homes. You don't put infectious patients with deadly communicable diseases in with the feeble and the aged. Any damn moron knows that, Andy Cuomo. And the director of the state health department, and let's see, Basil Sagos at Environmental Conservation, the hiding and secreting of records, Judge Kimberly O'Connor. Let's see here. Let's see, does that, I don't know, it might not come up too good. No, you can't see the screen. The hiding and secreting of records is something that the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, the Southern District of New York for the U.S. attorneys, and the FBI are investigating the hiding and secreting of records by Andrew Cuomo and the State Health Department and Environmental Conservation. Just like I've been arguing in federal court for several years now, how New York State hides its records and refuses to obey the FOIA laws, Freedom of Information laws, how they completely ignore and just, they don't even respond to your Freedom of Information Act or your Freedom of Information Law requests. They ignore you. Now, folks, pay close attention. In New York State, the death capital of the free world, they got more sewage being dumped and slopped all over New York State. It staggers the mind. And yes, Elise Stefanik, the dams are the flushing mechanism. The dams are breaking, and the dams, Elise Stefanik, and the FBI and Department of Justice, the dams in New York State are used to flush the massive amounts of it's infectious sewage all over the state, up and down the St. Lawrence River. The Great Lakes are being flushed. The Lake Champlain Hudson River Canal, the Champlain Hudson Canal, is being flushed using the lock system. The dams on the Lachute River, all up and down the Hudson River, massive amounts of sewage all over Manhattan. There are 472 sewage discharge pipes just from Manhattan. 472 of them. And then, of course, you got them all over the harbor. You got them in the East River. You got them on the West Bank, all over New York. Long Island Sound, they dump vast, unbelievable amounts of sewage into New York Harbor, right smack dab in the middle of the death capital of America. And guess what's in sewage? Vast amounts of COVID, SARS-2, and millions of other bacteria, and tens of thousands of other viruses. And they're dumping it like crazy in places like Glens Falls, Corinth, Saratoga, Ballston Spa, all up and down the Hudson River to Albany, down to Hudson, Poughkeepsie, White Plains, all up and down the river. On the Hudson, they dump huge amounts of sewage into New York Harbor. Just like what's going on in the Chesapeake Bay and the Potomac River and Tampa Bay and San Francisco Bay and the Ohio and the Tennessee River, the Chicago River, the entire river basin in Pennsylvania and North Carolina, the Cape Fear River basin is full of sewage. The Neuse River, full of sewage. All over the freaking nation, all around the world. The Rio Grande River between the United States and Mexico, massively contaminated, full of sewage. And they're They're hiding and secreting the information. They're hiding and secreting the records. The FBI, the U.S. Attorney in Manhattan, Southern District of New York, Andy Cuomo's hiding huge amounts of records, way, way, way past the nursing homes. So, Elise Stefanik, I'm pretty sure you got your registered mail by now, and I'm sure that Tish James, the Attorney General of the state of New York, she got her mail by now. Right, registered mail from yours truly, the guy raising ever-loving stink in hell about the way they're flushing and slopping sewage all over New York State. They're flushing and slopping sewage like crazy all over the United States. I mean, wow, ladies and gentlemen, are you freaking fooling me? Just like Wuhan, China, they flush sewage all over the place. Like London, England, they flush sewage everywhere. Into the Thames River in Milano, Italy, Barcelona, Spain, Paris, France, all over the freaking world. They're dumping COVID-laced massive amounts of sewage all over planet Earth. The links and the information you need, folks, are listed right below. This isn't a fantasy. This isn't supposition. It's not conjecture. It's the freaking truth. Andy Cuomo, what are you doing dumping and slopping sewage with Chuck Schumer and Bernie Sanders and Patrick Leahy? Elise Stefanik, what is New York State dumping and slopping sewage all over the place for? And then, of course, keeping secret records. And that's going directly to United States District Judge Myers in Wilmington. Why is the Cape Fear River full of sewage? Why is the Neuse River full of sewage? Why does North Carolina have a massive sewage problem just like New York's? Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the American people to wake up. It's the sewage, folks. The sewage is spreading the pandemic. Ladies and gentlemen, the links and information are below. Have a wonderful evening.